Hey guys, so the Mental Photography deck's a great deck. I've been using one of these all my life. It's a deck of playing cards. This is what playing cards look like before they leave the International Playing Card Factory. They're actually blank on both sides, and then they print the fronts and the backs. If I think of a card, if I think of the King of Diamonds, look at this, I can cut right to the King of Diamonds, but the King of Diamonds isn't in this deck because this is a blank deck. So now I can think of different cards. I could think of an 8, a 5, a 9, an 8, or a 2. I can only think of those cards because they're not in this deck. This is a blank deck. So now if I take it and I cut it, I can cut to the 9 of clubs. Look, there's no back to this card. That's because the back of this card went all the way down to the bottom. Look, there's no face on this card. No face on this card, no back on this card. That only means one thing. Ha! If I do that, look, they actually all appear. But you know what? There's no cards actually in this deck. Do you know why? Yeah, because it's a blank deck. Yeah, from the International Playing Card Factory, there's actually no cards in this deck. So the way this deck works, it's an incredible deck of playing cards, like I said. Every card in this deck is actually 2 cards. It's a blank face card and a blank back card. All of the face cards have been cut shorter than these cards. So if I put these two together, one card is actually shorter than the other card. They've also been sprayed on the front of this card and on the back of this card with what magicians call roughing fluid. And what roughing fluid does is it roughs the surface of the playing cards, so when you apply pressure, they actually stick together. It's like sandpaper rubbing on sandpaper. But when I want to, I can actually make the cards all appear by riffling down like this, showing it all blank. If I turn the deck over and do it again, now the deck actually prints because the short cards are falling in behind the long cards. And if I fan these out, the roughing fluid keeps the cards together, and that's because the roughing fluid on there keeps them together. It's basically it. Excuse me. So what I do is I show the cards all empty, or all blank, and then I lift up at the back here and I can peek in there and I can see the King of Clubs with a pinky break. And I can show the King of Clubs, but it's not in this deck because this is a blank deck. So now I can think of different cards, and now I just pick them up anywhere, and I go up the deck like that, but when I fan them out, they're actually blank. So then I cut it, and I can cut to 4 hearts. That's when I hold it up, show that they all print, and when I go back, fan them out, they go blank again, and that's because of the roughing fluid. I hope that's enough for you for the tutorial. It's pretty easy to do if you read your instructions and have another look at the video. It should be pretty easy for you to do.